Hello football fans, long time no see, happy holidays, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a great week in football, and I cannot believe that the NFL playoffs have begun. We have a lot of heavy matchups in the wild card this weekend, and I can't wait to discuss them. But before we can make any analysis and predictions for this week, I want to take some time to discuss how the playoffs will work this season. For both the American Football Conference and the National Football Conference, there will be 7 teams in each conference which will compete in the playoffs. That makes a total of 14 teams in this year's playoffs. 12 of those teams will be playing in the wild card, while the 2 number 1 seeds will have a bye week. This means that the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers will not play this weekend. On the AFC, you have the Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Cincinnati Bengals, the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills, and the Pittsburgh Steelers facing the Kansas City Chiefs. On the NFC side, the Philly Eagles face the Bucs at Tampa Bay, the Niners will travel to Dallas to face the Cowboys, and the Cardinals conclude the wild card at Los Angeles versus the Rams. Now, each teams have their playoff seedings or placements in the playoffs. Tennessee and Green Bay are the number 1 seeds in their conference. The number 2s are Kansas City and Tampa Bay. Number 3 belongs to Buffalo and Dallas. Number 4 is Cincinnati and Los Angeles. The number 5 teams are Las Vegas and Arizona. Number 6 is New England and San Francisco. And finally, the number 7 seeds are Pittsburgh and Philly. Of the 7 teams in each conference, only 1 team per conference can advance to the Super Bowl. The winner of the AFC Championship will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl and vice versa for the NFC champion. Now, with the basics out of the way, let me explain how teams will advance into the playoffs. Each team's seeding will determine who they face in the next round of the playoffs. Green Bay and Tennessee, as the number 1 seeds in the NFL, will face the lowest seed in the Divisional Championship, the second round of 3 before the Super Bowl. If Philly, for example, beats Tampa, then Philly will face Green Bay at Green Bay. This is because Philly is the lowest seed in the conference. However, if Tampa beats Philly, then Green Bay will either face Dallas, San Francisco, LA, or Arizona. Green Bay will not face Tampa in the divisional because Tampa is the number 2 seed. At the end of the wild card, there will only be 8 teams left in the playoffs out of the 14 that started. 8 total teams divided by 2 conferences means that there are only 4 teams per conference left in the playoffs. With the number 1 seeded teams facing the lowest seeded teams, the remaining 2 teams per conference will face each other. The home field is based off of which team has the higher seeding. Alright, now that the playoff explanation is out of the way, it's time for me to make my predictions for the wild card. I'm going to start with the AFC wild card because we have 2 wild card games coming up this Saturday on NBC and CBS. The first game is at 3:30 p.m. Central on NBC, the Las Vegas Raiders against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be a really good matchup because while both offenses are not the number 1 offenses in the league, you still have the big arm in Derek Carr for Vegas. Cincy has 2-year quarterback Joey Burrow and Rookie of the Year contender Jamar Chase. The Raiders have really outdone themselves. Derek Carr rallied the troops and kept their playoff hopes alive. He guided the Raiders to a key victory against the LA Chargers that brought them into the playoffs. The Bengals also have a moving story. Heisman Trophy winner and number 1 overall pick Joe Burrow returned from a torn ACL last season, and with the help of his former teammate Jamar Chase, the Bengals posted 10 wins for the first time since 2015. Fun fact, the last time the Bengals won a playoff game was 1 year before Operation Desert Storm. The Raiders haven't won a playoff game since Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movie. Who will win? Even though the Raiders have more experience, I think the Bengals will finally break their playoff drought. Joey Burrow, as a lot of people like to call him, is one of the most positive people you will ever meet. After his ACL injury, he told his fans via Twitter that he was coming back. "You ain't getting rid of me that easily," he joked. Also, I think Jamar Chase is going to be a great receiver. He can catch any pass, and he's so elusive that he can turn a small play into a touchdown. He is my candidate for Rookie of the Year. The Bengals will win a close one, 31-28. New England will face their AFC East rivals, the Buffalo Bills, in freezing Buffalo. That game will be on Saturday at 7:15 on CBS. The Patriots have a very strong defense, but so do the Bills. The Pats' defense is number 2 in the league, the Bills number 1. Both are also number 2 and number 1 respectively against the passing game. Both defenses, however, are not in the top 10 against the run game. I would not be surprised if both teams run the ball again like the last time they faced each other. The deciding factor for that game will be the wind. Mac Jones only threw 3 passes the last time because of the wind. Josh Allen, however, threw the ball 30 times. He only completed 15 passes out of 30, but Allen always improves from his mistakes. The question is, can Josh Allen outsmart the Patriots' defense? In this game, I think Allen will redeem himself this weekend and defeat the Patriots. Mac Jones is more than a game manager, but to face a strong Bills pass rush, the cold might be too much for the young Alabama quarterback, and the defense cannot carry the Patriots forever. Bills win 21-10. Alright guys, those are the Saturday games. Let's go ahead and transition into the Sunday games. The Philly Eagles will visit Tampa to face touchdown Tom Brady at 12 p.m. Central on Fox. Believe it or not, I think Philly will give a fighting effort against the Bucs. Philly's offense has had its ups and downs this season, but no one can deny that Jalen Hurts is the key to the Eagles' success. Hurts has a strong connection to his receivers. Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert enjoy playing with Jalen. They understand each other and can be a dangerous trio as the years go by. However, that is in the future. Right now, I think Tampa defeats the Eagles. This is mainly because of Tom Brady and his history in the playoffs. He leads the league in passing and in touchdowns, and with a healthy Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski, the Buccaneers' offense is not a concern. The Bucs' defense will also cause trouble for Jalen. Jalen may have the scrambling ability of Fran Tarkenton, but it's not enough to avoid tackles. Tampa Bay wins 27-20. At 3:30 Central, the Dallas Cowboys will defend their home against the upcoming 49ers. The Cowboys' offense is a roller coaster. Sometimes it goes up, and sometimes it just takes you down. There has been a lot of inconsistency in the offense, and Dak and the receiving corps cannot see eye to eye. The offensive line is also not protecting Dak long enough to have the confidence to throw the ball. Sometimes he has to throw the ball early just to avoid a sack. While some think it's Kellen Moore's play calling, I believe it could be the execution. Last season, Dak averaged 400 yards a game before his foot injury. That is due in part to the protection provided by the offensive line. The offense will need to be on point if they want to beat the 49ers. While the defense has had some consistency, the 49ers rely heavily on the run game. Micah Parsons, D-Law, and Randy Gregory are going to have to contain Deebo Samuel if they want to force the Niners to throw the ball. The 49ers offense, as previously stated, rely mostly on the run game and throw the ball when the defense is tired. I think their victory against the Rams will be a key factor for the 49ers in this game. Jimmy G played through a hip and thumb injury and is really stepping up in the passing game. I really believe Jimmy is going to give his best to be the franchise quarterback for the 49ers. The Niners defense, I really don't think there's anything to critique about them. The front four of the defense, which I nicknamed the Gold Rushers, are one of the best defenses I've seen. Nick Bosa will have a big day facing the aging but still great Tyron Smith. Fred Warner is a great leader for the defense at linebacker, and Warner knows that he is facing a great team. He will not take this game too lightly. This is expected to be a great game. While the 49ers have a strong case to beat the Cowboys, I believe Dallas will overcome the 49ers. I say overcome because they will start the game down by 10 points and come back in the fourth quarter to take the lead and keep the lead. The Cowboys are a better fourth quarter team, and Dallas's front seven can stop the run game once the second quarter begins, and they can learn how to stop Deebo Samuel. Dallas will win 35-24. Now, the Steelers versus the Chiefs. Before I discuss this game, can I say what luck by the Steelers? A 9% chance at making the playoffs. They beat Baltimore and only needed the Raiders and Chargers game to not end in a tie to make the playoffs. What a way for Big Ben to go out if he really does decide to hang up his cleats after this season. Pittsburgh versus Kansas City will be at 7:15 on NBC. Now, with that, as much as everyone loves an underdog, I know that Kansas City will defeat Pittsburgh. The Chiefs' offense is one of the best in the league, and big props to Patrick Mahomes and the KC team. They started the midseason in last place in the AFC West and came all the way back to win their own division. The Chiefs, along with the crowd at Arrowhead, will win this match 31-13. And now finally, the last game of the wildcard weekend, the Cardinals versus the Rams. The Cardinals are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2015. The Rams have been in the playoffs last season, but this time with a different quarterback. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp have led the Rams into the number 4 seed and will host Arizona on Monday at 7:15, either through ABC or ESPN. Both offenses will have a strong reliance on the passing game. The Cardinals' offense, however, has been in decline since DeAndre Hopkins got hurt. Without Murray's best weapon, the Cardinals will need to rely on former Aggie Christian Kirk. They will also need Chase Edmonds at his best to help Kyler Murray. What is going to be a big factor is the defense. The Cardinals have Chandler Jones and Isaiah Simmons and Budda Baker and J.J. Watt. However, the Rams have Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and Von Miller. I believe whoever gets the most sacks will determine the winner of the match. In this case, the LA Rams will have their first playoff win in SoFi Stadium. That is due in part to the pass rush. Aaron Donald and Von Miller will at least get 1 sack each against Kyler Murray. I know Matthew Stafford will get sacked at some point during the game, but Stafford will eventually throw 1 or 2 touchdown passes to Cooper Kupp to help the Rams beat the Cardinals. Rams will win 24-17. Okay guys, if everything goes according to my predictions, then the divisional championships should be Tennessee hosting the Bengals, Kansas City hosting Buffalo, Green Bay facing Los Angeles in Green Bay, and Tampa Bay staying home to face Dallas. What are your thoughts on this week's playoffs? Who do you think will win this weekend? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe. I will see you next time.